We're on time.
Hello. Welcome to Juicy Talk with your girl Juicy and my homeboy
What's up,
Julius.
Julius?
So today we're going to talk about, can hoes be housewives? That's what we're about to talk about today. So we're going to get straight into it and let's go. Welcome to Juicy Talk with your host Juicy. Live Thursdays, 8 p.m. Crucial conversations, special guests, love, relationships, and healing together. It's going to be juicy, y'all. Let's go. Let's go.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? So,
Happy Thursday.
happy Thursday.
About
It's
that time.
Friday Eve.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down. So, what's going on with you?
Oh,
How
man.
your day been?
Good day. Had a good day.
You had a good day?
Yeah.
How's the sound out there? Let us know if you can hear us, if we're clear. If we're not going in and out, let us know.
Yeah.
How the hound is. My day was good. I had a good day. Hey, I had a really good day. No complaints this way. So we got a great topic today, y'all. It's gonna be really, really interesting. And the topic today is, can you turn a whore into a housewife? So I want to talk about why I wanted to have this conversation, because part of the reason why I wanted to have this conversation is I've been on Facebook like everybody else and Instagram, and I just see so many men talking about, women being whores and all of this, these different things, women being gold diggers, and just a lot of different things regarding women and men and women too. We talking about men being unfaithful and cheating. And so I just wanted to dive into it because I think it's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to this topic about relationships, hoes, sluts, promiscuous people. And I just want to dive into it, talk about it, and kind of address it, for lack of a better term, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
So it's a lot to unpack. It's a lot to talk about. So I think that when you hear men and women talking about hoes this, hoes that, a lot of time I don't really think they know what the definition of a whore is. I don't. I think that they get it misconstrued with somebody who's promiscuous. So we gonna talk about it. So what is, for the sake of this conversation, we got to talk about it in this manner. What is a whore? A whore is a person who engages
It can be both, right?
in sexual activity for pay. It can be a male or a female. It does not have to be one or the other.
I know, right?
You feel me?
I feel you.
So that's number one. And so when we're talking about sex, and if you are in a relationship with somebody, and men be like, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, but can you?
I think so. I think so. I do. I do.
Tell me why you think so.
Well, for one, like we had a lot of times we talk about stuff prior to our show. We kind of agree on things. Now we don't agree on everything. One, we had a lot of times we talk about stuff prior to our.
Oh, okay. We was getting some feedback. My bad.
My bad.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So what I was saying, like sometimes like hoes can be like, how can I say this without hurting people's feelings or anything like that?
Just speak on it. Tell the truth.
Speak the truth to shame the devil.
Speak the truth, shame the devil.
I know, right? So I think like a hoe would be again, can we, like,
It's a person who is
it's
sleeping with people for pay,
okay,
period.
right?
And I think a lot of times people like think that when they're using a term, um I don't think I don't feel like there is a a woman, right?
Hmm.
Just period. So I have to go back old school for a minute. So when you think about back in the day, women got married to be taken care of, right? They were in a situation where they were getting paid. They were in relationships with men basically behind the fact that they wanted to be taken care of. Most of the time they stayed in the house. They did what they were supposed, what was
Ask them
expected
to
of
do,
them
right?
or asked of them from that man. And they did it with the intentions that this man was going to take care of them for the rest of their lives. They didn't care about um
Being married.
they didn't care about what he did. It didn't matter because it was about getting what she needed. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it was about getting taken care of and her needs being met. It was a different day and time. Women depended on men to take care of them. So if you think about it, women were engaging with sex with men based on the fact that
Just getting their needs and whatever else they needed provided.
yes,
So
they were actually getting their needs met and they were getting paid. It was an exchange. It was a lot of times they were married to men and they didn't even really have to like that man. They might have couldn't stand him,
a lot of them
hated his guts.
live the other side of town, or
Yeah.
so
He might have had other women, people he was cheating on her with, but it didn't really matter because in her mindset,
kind of think of like I don't know if you remember that movie Ray Charles. Remember he had other women, had children. He was concerned. Remember, I remember that movie Ray Charles,
yeah.
and he had other kids, and he wanted to take care of this one child. And I know in one scene in Ray Charles, he had this a son. He wanted to take care of him, but he knew his wife was his first priority, so he never wanted to
Mhm.
neglect the other kids that he had. Though.
So when we thinking about relationships, so we got to understand the dynamic because for me, I think a lot of times men out here men say we need to go back old school. We need to go back old school. We need the type of woman who didn't mind listening to a man and doing what you wanted, what you're told to do. But these women were doing this and it was because they wanted to be taken care of. They were not they expected the man to pay. The man knew that he had to pay, and he had to pretty much provide for that family, period, point day. It was an exchange.
Mhm,
Love was important, but not so much
mhm,
because when the love failed, it didn't matter.
mhm.
It was a purpose of providing and taking care of that family
So,
unit.
would you say a horror is this like providing a service,
It is for pay,
not a
having
service?
sex for pay,
Wow. Okay. So
right?
it's kind of like fair exchange is no robbery, kind of,
I'm
sorta.
I'm just saying it's sex
Oh.
for pay. And so a lot of women, and I'm just being real, back in the day, that's what they didn't care.
Mhm.
So
As long as they
let's get into it.
mm.
Let's get into it. The question is,
Can women be whores?
can no, not can women be whores.
I'm s-
What know the difference
what?
between what a whore is because I think a lot of men are getting it misconstrued. They think that a whore or a woman who wants to get paid for sex is the same as somebody that's promiscuous. Like, how you can't turn no hoe into a housewife. All I'm saying, hoes could possibly be the best housewives.
Mm.
So let's talk about it. Because not promiscuous women or
Hmm.
men, but I think that it just depends on what your objective of. I don't think men, for the most part, can be categorized as, even though there's always an exception to the rule, but I think that men cannot completely be categorized as whores.
Mm.
I think men are sluts, maybe. Sluts are people who engage in multiple promiscuous transient sex part. Yeah, transient. That means like all the time.
They get that
different, not for a long time.
They get that other stuff out too. So
yeah, no, not that. No,
okay,
not
get
that.
confused now.
Right. So that's what men are, and I think a lot of times men think that women are being, or men or women they're confusing whores with sluts. And it's a big difference between the two. So let's talk about it. Because I know, listen, first let me give a disclaimer. This is an opinion. This is a different opinion, an objective, a different way of seeing things. You are not obligated to feel the same way, but we all have an opinion. And so don't be mad at me sending me text messages talking about I said somebody's that your
friend,
your great grandmother.
Right. Don't see me on the street saying.
Don't see me on the street and be mad at me. It ain't my fault. Right. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like it is. So let me go. Y'all ready? Julius, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right.
Here we go.
So I made some notes. I'm pulling up my notes, y'all. So bear with me for a minute. Because I just get so tired of this conversation with men, and I hear men say it so often, just calling women hoes. And I think that men are really getting it mixed up. You're not mad at a whore. You're mad at you're not mad at a whore. You're mad at a woman who's promiscuous or sleeping around with multiple people.
Or the women that try to mess up their household. You know what it was. When we got together, you knew what time it was. And
that's a whole nother situation. For real. Yeah, because and I'm gonna get into it. So
okay, well, I'm just
saying we're gonna stay to it. So let's talk about the qualities that you have to have in order to be a whore.
Oh, there's qualities?
There are certain things that whores have to have, and I'm just gonna be real with it. And a lot of people probably ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say, but I'm just being true. I'm keeping it 100, right?
Absolutely.
So think about a whore. Man, listen. Let me just give it to you like this, okay?
No chaser.
No chaser.
Okay, here we go.
Whores been around since the beginning of time.
Yes. Absolutely.
And actually, they get a bad rap because they make the world go round. Okay? What is a hoe's purpose? A hoe's purpose is to create an environment. She makes that man feel like he's the only one that exists. It's a reason why men from the beginning of the time been sleeping with whores. And there's a difference. I am not talking about, I want to be clear. So I'm going to put the definition back up because I am not talking about women who are promiscuous. Whores do not just give up they just don't have sex with anybody. Sex for them is not personal. It's transaction. It's a transaction. Right. It's a transaction. It is about money. It's about a pay. It's about providing a service, giving you what you want for something that I want or they want in return. That's what a whore is about. Okay. So let's just be clear. There's a difference between the two. She creates an environment. Okay. So let's talk about the strengths. And I know people ain't gonna like it, but it's the truth because I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of it.
I hear you.
I'm just saying I'm tired of hearing it. So we're gonna dare this for once and all. So Jamila said she can't condone whoredom when HIV is running around. I can't. So you need to listen because just because you're a whore doesn't mean that you're not safe because it's a lot of women who are promiscuous, is running around, sleeping with multiple men, knowing that he's married, know that he has a wife, know that he has a girlfriend. She's not using protection. Men too, sleeping with multiple women all over the place, multiple sex partners, transient sex partners all over. you know, and it has nothing at all to do with being safe. So let's be real about it. And just because a person is a whore doesn't mean that they're sleeping with everybody. They got high class, high what they call them escorts, high paid escorts. Yeah. But all I'm saying is a lot of times men are saying they're calling women whores and thinking they're in relationships with whores. A whore, if when you break it down, it's any person that has sex for money. So if you are, so you can say, so it's safe to say that if you are a woman who's out here talking about you want to be paid, ain't this sex ain't free. I need him. I only know if he care about me if he give me money. Then what do you call that? Is that transactional?
There's a movie if like that too, right? The Lady in Red or what's
Pretty Woman?
Pretty Woman, yeah, Pretty Woman. He fell in love with that woman.
He fell in love with her. Why did he?
He fell in love with a whore.
He did. But why did he fall in love with her? But let's not get it twisted. Men are whores too. If you a man and you sitting in the house and a woman is taking care of you and you know she is not your type, you don't care about how she look. You know you want her to take care of you and provide for you financially. What are you? You a whore. That's all I'm saying. They are not their whore is for pay. The definition of a whore, I'm going to say it again. The definition of a whore is a person who engages in sexual activity for pay. There's a difference between a whore and a promiscuous person or a slut. I'd rather say promiscuous because it encompasses both male and female. Okay, but in my opinion, they can be both. Okay. So let's get into it. A lot of times men think that they're miscalling women. She was a hoe. That's why I broke up with her. No, you didn't break up with her because she was a hoe. You broke up with her because she was sleeping around with multiple people. You didn't break up with him because he was a whore. You broke up with him because he was sleeping around with multiple people. There's a difference. You got to use things in its correct context. Right. Because what's happening is it's people out here who's really messing it up for relationships has nothing to do with being a whore. It has nothing to do with being a whore. And I'm not condoning either or, but I'm just saying it's not because of a whore. Women and men have been getting paid and being using sex in a transactional way for periods of time, since the beginning of time. And they do it for different reasons in different cultures in different ways. In other cultures, having sex for money is not even considered taboo.
Right. So what? Somebody say something funny?
Yeah, somebody said something next. You probably been standing next. Somebody said, "Don't stand me next to a whore." You probably been standing next to him all your life. Wow. And just didn't know and wasn't aware because she doesn't tell her business and she doesn't have to. But it's women out here who are having sex for money. If you want to say to me, you don't want to hear about a whore, then don't tell me about a woman. I don't want to hear no song about a woman talking about she want to get paid, where the bag at. He got to drape me off in gifts, of course. All your favorite lines to the favorite hip hop songs. I don't want to hear it. If you're glorifying it in one aspect, oh, don't mess with that dude for no money. If he ain't paying you, if he ain't taking care of you, if he ain't taking you on trips, if he ain't buying you stuff, honey, I don't want to hear it. Women talk about it all the time. I'm not going to the Cheesecake Factory. You know what I'm saying? Me and Sam, same thing. They don't want to pay. They like, forget that. And why? Because your daddy paid.
Yeah, he did. I'm not.
I'm just saying, your daddy paid. He paid every last bill in that house. Whether she liked him or not, she probably couldn't stand him. But guess what? They stayed married. They stayed in the family. He provided a service. He took care of his household. He did what he had to do. It's not a job description, but it's the truth. Like people live in this fairy tale world like this ain't the truth. This is what's been going on.
Right.
And y'all just ain't calling a thing a thing.
Right. Calling a spade a spade.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the realness of it. It's not about condoning it. It's about facing the facts of what it is and stop lying to yourself and saying that it's something different. It's not. Because I think, in my opinion, it's a lot of men out here who want to be with hoes. They want to be with hoes. And actually, you know what? I take that back. Maybe they don't want to be with hoes. They want to be with they want to be sluts and be with a lot of promiscuous. Am I wrong? Is
I
it
don't
not
think
a
so.
lot of men out here that's promiscuous
I don't think so because
and women?
I think at a certain age we beyond that promiscuous. We try to actually like I'm everybody know I'm over I'm over 50. So my way of thinking when I was 40 and 30 is totally different. So my mindset is more or less like, hey, I'm gonna find somebody to settle down with, and then maybe at 30, I'm maybe I'm gonna try to bang. I'm not saying me per se, but I'm sure people in their 30s like I ain't really think about really settling down. I'm just gonna bang as many girls as I can, and so it happens that way. It just go through those different stages in life. We don't really care. Just that's how we have these like you said, guys going around going to these different strip clubs, knowing good and well what they're getting, going to these strip clubs and going home with these ladies and how much is this and all that. So it's
I
a
mean,
phase.
I'm just saying that there is a reason why the sex industry is as big as it is. It's
Billion
not
dollar
because
business.
it's a billion-dollar business. And it's not because women are sitting around here and men are sitting around here not being entertained by it. It's not if women it wouldn't be it's a reason why whores exist.
Just a lot of
They ain't sleeping by themselves.
right.
They getting paid by somebody. It's a whole escort services everywhere. They're getting paid. It's the reason why I say every song. I'm just saying, if you don't like it, change the narrative, but call a thing what it is. And my thing is this whether you're a whore, a slut, a dreamer, which
Mhm.
I'm going to talk about,
Yes.
or an evolved person, right?
Mhm.
It does, you need to find your tribe, and then we need to understand what we're doing and how we're moving and operating, because a lot of people are engaging in situations with other individuals that
Mhm.
are not a part of that life, draping them off in things that they're not a part of. And I just think that we need to start being real about some of these conversations because people don't like to be real about it, but it's the truth. And a lot of women are, if you've been in it, I'm just saying, and I agree with you. Alinda said, well, if that's the case, most women can be defined as a whore. A person can be defined as a whore for many reasons. Anyone who misuses their talents.
Ooh, misuse her talents. Wow, that's pretty deep.
All I'm saying, she said, Alicia Williams said, hoes have been around long before all of us. I feel hoes are worthy of being housewives.
Okay, see, told
So
you. I agree with you too.
thank you, ladies, for
Thank you.
keeping it 100%
Yes,
real. Because
absolutely.
it's a lot of people who not keeping it real out here. It's women out here who've been operating in that.
In the hoish ways, don't even realize it.
Listen,
Say that.
listen. They
Hmm.
operating in it, but they not calling. They don't want to be called that. They don't want it to be talked about. They don't want to be stated, but they want it to be. But their relationships are all transaction. It's all transactional. You're in relationships with people, and it's all take
Transaction.
me out, buy me this. I'm a mess with you. We going here. You taking me on this trip. Can you pay this bill? Can you take care of this? Can you take care of that? It's just the realness of it all.
Right.
And a lot of people don't want to say what it is, but it is the truth. I am not saying this. So I am saying that by the definition of what a whore is, that when you look at back in the day, how society is set up, and I'm going to get into more than just this one thing, but there are different types and categories of relationships and people and why they get into relationships. And we're talking about the reasons. A lot of times, if you're just tuning in, we were talking about the fact that a lot of men is saying that women want to be paid to have sex. They want to be paid to be in a relationship. They want to create an atmosphere, but it is very transactional. And I'm just saying that, in my opinion, you don't have to be a, a, a whore to be married if you're not working. I'm not saying that because I do feel like if you're a housewife, right, then you should be taken care of. But there's this for Valerie, there's this bad association with being a whore, right? And the term itself is used very loosely, and it is based on just a way to demean or put down women or to make them feel bad for wanting to be taken care of. And all I'm saying is, by the definition, it's a whole lot of people out here that are operating like this, and they're not being truthful and honest about it.
So
That's all I'm saying.
Would it be something like where maybe a woman is taking advantage of a guy that she knows that he really likes her, and like, if you like me, show me, but she really don't like him, but she uses him.
I can see that, but I think that a lot of times people know when something is basically
a transaction.
Yeah, and a lot of men sign up for it. That's what they want. They want it. They don't want the strings attached. They want it to be
But
just
it take two
that.
though. It take two. You can't do it by itself.
I mean, it's a reason why it's a billion-dollar industry. It's a reason why, like, even when you look at the strip clubs even if you go overseas, it's not even a big deal. It's not illegal.
Right.
It's not. And everything in society is based on sex and money. Absolutely. So, my whole point is that stop calling this whole situation, because we got this mindset that whores are bad or that they're promiscuous, and that is not the case. What is considered by definition, you by definition, you can be have one sex partner your whole entire life, and you only with that man because he's taking care of you or he's paying you or providing something for you that you want and you desire. And by definition, because it ain't about love, it's about an arrangement, you are operating in a whore. But I'm just saying, why do we have this mentality that that's so bad? So let's just talk about it.
I'm sure there's a lot of arrangements going around. A
It
lot
is.
that's even like kind of like unspoken. It's not even spoken. Like, hey, if you want to spend time with me, this is what you need to do. I need this. I need my nails done. I need my feet done. But if you want to spend time with me, this is what you got to do. So men are paying for that.
They are.
They're paying for it.
They are. They're paying for it, and it's what they want, and it's what they desire.
Right.
And it's just not one way, because it's some women who are financially well off. Let's not just say it's one way or the other. It's women who are financially well off, and they just want a guy in the house. They don't want him to work. They don't care if he work or not, if he got income or at all. And they gonna take care of him, and they gonna make sure he cool, right? Financially, and he gonna stay behind the scene. Stepman. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't say that. Nah.
I mean,
Stepman got his own money though. He got his own money.
He had his own career, but what is he doing right now? That's my point. That's my point. I'm not saying that you're not smart, educated, handling your business. I'm not saying any of that. You can do all of that and still, man or female, be in a relationship that is about a transaction. It's
So,
about getting paid.
so what about women now that there's a lot of time women are making more money than men. Women are making more money than men, and they really don't really want a relationship right now. So has the tables turned? Are women now paying for? I don't want to say the word, but are now is women paying for
What word? What word you
the D
saying?
word? So is the women paying for the D word because they're so busy, don't have time to really like,
It's a lot of women who are. I
yeah.
mean, I know situations where there are women who are financially well off, they're doing well for themselves, they're making six figures, right? And this person that I have in mind, she's dated men who were equal with her, but they're never satisfied. They don't respect, they are equals in pay, and so they want to do their thing. They always want somebody better. They're always looking for the next hottest, prettiest, flat tummy, BBL, whatever. They don't want that. They want to, they always looking for the next best thing. So she had a lot of cheating, and so she then got with her a guy who makes less money than her.
Mhm.
She financially is the breadwinner. She makes
Supports
the
them,
money
right?
and she supports him and they're happy. Now,
She may not,
he's very attractive. I'm gonna be honest.
but
You know,
a lot of times,
I'm not even gonna say she's an attractive woman. She's
oh,
just heavier, And
mhm.
and I think that, not saying that that makes a difference, but in general, that's her scenario. He's a very attractive man and he's with this woman and
It works.
it works. And he ain't got no job. So
But
what y'all call that?
slut.
So let's talk about what he provides for her though.
Well, we already know.
No. So he's loyal to her.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He got her back, right?
Is that a good example? Because he ain't got no job.
He ain't got no job. But guess what? Let's use this as an example because guess what? How many times have we heard this from the opposite sex? She's getting her needs met. I mean, she
Yeah.
is.
Okay, Miss
She's
Henry.
getting her needs met. So let's talk about it,
Right,
right?
right. You're right.
So
Hey, Miss Henry.
this is what's happening in this woman's situation. This man is loyal to her. Okay? He's loyal. He knows what he has to do to satisfy her. So he's handling his business in the bedroom. He's not tempted by other women because he's not going to mess up his for sure thing that he got at the house with this woman.
Right, right.
Okay? He's more appreciative because he feels like what he won't do, another man will, because she is, I'm just saying. I mean, this is how it is. Like I said, she says that he sexually satisfies her. So she's getting what she needs from him sexually. And he knows how to conduct himself in public. So even though he ain't got no job, he educated. He's not like a dumb guy. He's educated. He goes to her events she travels for work, so he travels with her. Sometimes they travel together, but she's the breadwinner. She's the one with the money.
Mhm. So he knows his role then, pretty
He
much.
plays his role
Mhm.
and they're happy. Is he a whore?
Mm. As he says, sounds like a what?
That's
Oh,
all
so,
I'm saying. That's my whole
yeah,
point.
yeah. You're right.
That's my whole point. Thank you, Valerie. That's my whole point. Is that we are so quick to define something, put a title on it, shame it, and demean it. But in reality, why is it demeaning? Why is it? We have to look at those social norms and start thinking to ourselves, why are we shutting people out?
Because apparently that works for them. Apparently, everyone's happy.
And all I'm saying is, why is it? Let's talk about why is it easy? Why is it easy? Why is it easier for a man to have that? And let me just say, if y'all want to call in, y'all can actually call in. I'm about to put the number up. So we are taking calls. Let's talk about it though. Why is it easier for a man to do this and impose as opposed to a woman or vice versa? Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
It's easier for a woman to have this situation.
I guess because men won't complain. What's there to complain about if he's getting everything he wants? He gets to drive around in their car and eat for free. I mean, what's
Why
he
driving
about?
around in hers? He got his own car. She done bought him one.
Oh, she bought him one?
I'm just saying, she is the breadwinner.
Right.
And I just feel like, but guess what? In those scenarios, right? Nobody's calling this man a gold digger. Nobody's saying that he is wrong. But in that same scenario, if it was a woman, she would be considered a whore, getting paid for sex. She don't care nothing about him. She too pretty. They say all of this kind of stuff, but they don't say it about
men.
They don't say it about men. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna put the number up. All you have to do is call. Let me put the number up. It is 216-245. Okay, I got somebody calling in.
Hello?
I don't think you got to call through the number. He didn't call through the number. Okay, Jesse.
Hello?
Hello.
Call from Jesse.
I don't know what happened. Jesse, when you call, you have to call the 245-3380 number. Let me see if I can call him back. Jesse, we're going to give you a call. Hold up. And also, if you want to come in, we're also going to put the link in the chat. I don't know what's going on. Jesse.
Hello?
Jesse.
Press 1 to send a voicemail. Press 2.
I don't know why it's not coming through. Jesse, you have to call the 245-3380 number. Jesse, I'm getting ready to call you. I don't know what's. Oh, he is calling through the right number. I don't know what's going on. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Oh, he's coming back.
Jesse, can you hear?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know. Can y'all? So, Jesse, for whatever reason, you're not picking up on the mic, but I'm going to see. Can y'all hear Jesse?
Go ahead, Jesse.
Jesse,
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why you're not coming through. Hold on 1 minute. Can you hear me, Jesse? Can y'all hear
I hear you.
Jesse? If y'all can
I
hear
hear you.
Jesse, let me know.
I can hear you clear.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming through. Okay, go ahead, Jesse.
They can hear me?
I think so. Can y'all hear Jesse? They can hear you, Jesse. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, a woman can always change. And I done been out there, I done been in strip clubs all my life. And I just ran into a young lady. She was a lesbian. She was sleeping around the clubs, and she's married now, and she's a nurse now, and she's in a different lifestyle. And she was even telling me that she had to go get counseling because she said when she was in the strip clubs, everything was normal to her. But once she found a good guy, she changed her life around and got herself together, and they got kids now. But she said when she was in that lifestyle with the strip club, she was kissing old girls and doing all kind of sexual activities. And she didn't do that until she started working at that club. But she was on ecstasy and just trying to hang out with them. But now she got herself together. A woman can easily change. Just because a woman was a prostitute, a stripper, or whatever, that don't mean that they can't turn their life over.
Very true.
So it's kind of like it's kind of like I don't want to use this, but it's kind of like it's not how you start the race; it's how you finish it. Sometimes in life, you know.
Right. Right, because I know I work with a bunch of guys, and I'm not going to mention their names, but they done had women in all kind of situations. And then there have been women who've been on drugs before, who've been out doing things for drugs, who don't even live that lifestyle no more. And they changed. Because you even got normal women who will sit back and judge these women, but you got women who let you take them out to dinner and a couple of drinks, and they open their legs.
Right, right.
But they want to judge a girl who just asks for money and get paid. And I'm not scared to admit in my past, I done dealt with it in all kinds of situations. I done had understanding with females. I done had where we made everything, put everything on the table. There was money involved or whatever. And they go on and live good lives and become, normal. I don't think that that's impossible for a woman to change like that. It's all on if the guy going to accept it. A lot of guys can't accept that. Like a lot of guys can sleep around and be with multiple females, but if they know the female been with multiple people, they can't handle that.
And why is that, Jesse?
It's just a mental thing. I learned how to accept people for who they are and what they go through. Because I done been in the streets on every aspect. I done been in the strip clubs. I done been involved in the drug world. I done been involved in all of that. And I know how people can change. And I done seen it. I even know where if you even go right now into Glen Bay or different counseling places, some of them people who's your counselor, they done been in the streets. True. And they done got themselves together and went and got a college degree and everything.
Cleaned themselves up. Everybody got a pass.
Yeah, everybody got a pass. You may have a woman who have a pass and she just didn't expose it.
Right.
To a lot of people. That's not impossible. And I'm a witness to it. It's not nothing that I'm making up or anything. If a lot of people know me and a lot of people know me out there, they know my history in the strip club. They know what I do. They know how I operate. And I was in that life. And them women came out to be beautiful people.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks for being so transparent.
Thank you, Jesse, for calling in. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye. I just want to, I think that's a great segue. That is the whole point of having this conversation, is because I just feel like there's so many men that miss out on really good women because of their ego and because they're caught up in what they think is, a good woman versus a bad woman. There's no such thing, or a good man versus a bad man. There's only experiences. We've all had them. And even after you've had your experiences or whatever, everybody has the ability to change and to evolve as a person by doing the self work that it takes to evolve and be better.
I guess it what?
I agree.
She said.
Tasha said that whores are entrepreneurs, though.
Wow. Say that, chat. Say
I
that.
mean, she can definitely take. I mean, she's selling a commodity. It's a need for it. It's a supply and demand, and if she's making money from it, I mean, I guess it is a business, right? I mean, is it any different than going on what's that one site that everybody has? Not Backpay.
I
What's
don't know.
that? Oh, you know.
I don't know what
Oh,
you
you know.
talking-
OnlyFans.
Oh yeah,
Is it
yeah.
the same thing as somebody who's on OnlyFans dancing around naked? Or,
Shit, you ain't gotta go on. You ain't gotta do all that. You can go right on Facebook and see that.
I'm just saying.
All right.
OnlyFans, yeah. So I think a lot of times we have this misconception that, if you have a past that you can't have a good solid relationship. And while we at it, let's talk about this. Because I feel like women get a bad rap for having a past or having experiences like they've been in a strip club, even though they might be degreed up now and handling a business, own their own house, business, or whatever. Okay, let's see. We got another caller.
Hello.
All right, welcome to Juicy Talk. How can I help you? What's up? What you got to
Hey,
say?
this is Alinda.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Hello. And what's your age and where are you
Um,
calling from?
okay, so I'm Alinda. I'm from Cleveland,
Oh, okay.
and I'm 61.
Ooh, okay.
Hey,
All right.
welcome to Juicy Talk.
Thank you. Well, I'm actually Facebook friends with your partner. I know he DJs and everything, but I decided to jump on because you guys had an interesting topic because it's a very broad topic and it's a very relevant topic that's going on today. So,
yes, very much so.
From my perspective, from a professional standpoint, because I work in healthcare, I've seen a lot of things from both ends of the spectrum. As far as a woman being a whore, as far as a woman being a stripper, and as far as being a man being promiscuous, I've seen a lot of different things. And for me, that topic is so broad that it has so many different layers that can be or need to be peeled back that it gets very deep.
It
You know what I'm
does.
saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah. So my opinion as far as can you make a whore to a housewife, I'm sure you can. But for most men out here today, the way that things are, it's like, you meet a man, you tell him about your past, that you were promiscuous, and he goes out and he's with his fellas, and his friends say, yeah, man, I was with her. That makes the man feel very insecure. It makes his mindset change about the direction that he wants to go with the woman. Every man wants a woman on his shoulder that he can be proud of. Absolutely. And say that this is my woman and not have to worry about if all his friends have slept with her. It just puts a different twist and dynamic on the situation. But there again, I heard the gentleman called in and said that he knew of a woman that was in strip clubs, was a lesbian, and all these other things, and she changed her life. Well, from my perspective, I'm not saying that this young lady can't change or be present in that moment, but for me, it's sort of like a drug addict or an alcoholic. It's sort of like once you get your life right, it's a struggle. It's a struggle not to go to what's convenient. It's always hard doing the right thing.
So let me ask you a question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to ask you a question, right? So you mentioned a woman who has been very promiscuous, but a lot of times, a lot of men have been very promiscuous as well. So I think that, we talk about women being very promiscuous and then changing their lives around. But what about the man who, all through his college days, all through his 20s and 30s, he done slept with multiple women. I mean, like thousands. Some men have slept with tens and thousands of women, right? Over a span of a lifetime. Why is it then he wants to go and he feels the right that he can go get a woman who has maybe slept with one or two partners and feels like that woman is going to be able to keep him satisfied, sustain that relationship when he's used to having threesomes and all kind of other different things. So how is that changes?
Right?
I mean, so how is that?
You're right.
Why is that okay then?
So it's not that it's okay, but you have to understand that I came from a time where women are held to a higher standard. And it's not to say that it's okay what men do, but it's more or less like we are held to a much higher standard. We're supposed to hold ourselves as a lady, carry ourselves as a lady, speak as a lady, and keep it classy. Whereas a man can go out to a bar, smoke a cigar, throw him back, and go out with the fellas and go sleep with 2 or 3 women, and it's okay. From my perspective, no, it's not okay. Because if you're holding me to that same standard, then I have that same expectation for you. But now your past, I can't do anything about. And if you meeting me is going to help you feel better about yourself and not place you in that situation to do those things with different women, then okay, we can rock it. But then it goes back to that saying they say, once a cheat, always a cheat. I don't believe one.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just don't believe once a cheat, always a cheat. People can change, just like they say a stripper can be a housewife. So it's all about perspective and what side of the spectrum are you looking from, and what's your experience and what can you bring to the table to help that person to grow.
Thank you, Alinda. We appreciate your call. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So, I mean, that I definitely hear what you're saying, and I get it, but I think that it's completely and totally unfair. And I feel like that's the narrative that we need to change. The problem is a woman can have a past, right? And say she's had multiple sex partners, she was a stripper, or whatever the case may be. And a man, say he wasn't a stripper, he just was a guy who had a good job, and he slept with woman after woman after woman after woman, right? And then he decides that now he wants to get with this woman who has not had a lot of sexual experiences, and he has been having all kind of crazy wild sex with different women. And now he is exposing her to all of his issues, problems, um, his emotional detachment regarding sex and all kind of things. And literally, she's not going to be able to sexually keep him satisfied because she's going to be boring because she doesn't know, or he's going to want her to do all of these things that may make her feel uncomfortable sexually because she doesn't have the same type of experience that he may have. And I just hate that. I agree with you, Valerie. It shouldn't be a double standard. We should not hold women to a higher standard than what we're holding men to. We should hold them to the same standard. And it really actually starts with us as women. We give them the excuses to do what they do. We make it okay by accepting them and say, oh, a man's going to do what a man's going to do. No, you have to set the standard. And I think that that's why we're seeing this new wave of women who are choosing to stay single and happy, travel. They're going to therapy. They're getting help for their issues and the problems that they may have had from previous relationships. They're doing the work to be better for themselves, and they're choosing to stay single rather than be with a person who is sexually all over the place. Because let me just say this, a lot of men who are been sleeping with a lot of multiple women over and over again and constantly, they be having issues, sexual issues as well. Let's not get it twisted.
Yo, you talking about like
is your mic out?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Can y'all hear him?
Okay. So, that's what you were saying, but I always say it always takes two, unless a man is, I don't want to use the word, but it starts with the letter R. So a
What's
man
that?
rape. I don't think a lot of men are
Oh,
raping women because there's such thing as people having one night stands and things that like that, and that happens all the time.
hold on 1 second. Hello. Juicy Talk, how can I help you? What's up? Let's talk about it.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening?
Hello, this is Juicy Talk. You're live.
How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
How you doing? I'm good. I was just listening to you guys, and the topic was, can you change a hoe into a housewife?
Whore.
Whore. And even though that's a catchy title, it's really it's not really based on gender.
Okay, got you. Got you. Well, I was one of those guys. I used to sleep with a lot of women, and I think I've hurt a lot of women emotionally.
Wow.
But what I want to say is that I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. That's all. And we as men, we're not held to the same standard as women are. Of course, most men don't want a woman that slept with everybody. We don't want that. I don't want that. That brother there don't want that. But we're not held to the standard most women are held to. We want a woman with class, integrity, high character. And you can be a freak behind closed doors, but you can't present yourself out there in public like that.
Right, exactly.
That's the type of woman we want.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I slept with a lot of women, been with a lot of women, hurt them. But I didn't do it because I wanted to hurt them. I did it because I just wanted to do what I wanted to do.
So are you
That's
saying
all.
And I think I think that all the things that you name that a man wants in a woman, that's the same things that a woman wants in a man. We want somebody with integrity.
I understand.
Yeah, we want somebody with
I understand, but you can't expect a man to. You can't hold a man to the standards. It's a universal law. I don't care what country you are.
It's not.
That you are in. Men are holding women to a higher standard.
But why can't we?
Actions.
But why can't we hold men to the same standard?
It's just no. You can hold us to that standard because I'm an older guy now. I'm more mature. I'm more experienced.
Right,
I'm not out there sharing my body like I used to. But I can just tell you from experience. You know, guys. You got some older guys that still out here being promiscuous, but I'm not one of them.
But see
I've
now,
learned from my
so
mistakes. I've had a family when I was. Go ahead.
So now what most women are saying now that you didn't use your body up, you didn't did everything that you wanted to. Now you want to settle down with one woman. So what do you say to women about that? What do you say to women now?
Well, I did never use my body up. But the thing was that I came into a woman now that has, I would say, leveled me up as far as not being so promiscuous. I don't have to. When you got a good woman, you don't have to be.
Absolutely.
When you have a quality woman that's got class, that's full of high character, she's not out there being promiscuous and never was, don't have that history, then it's easy for a man to become the man he truly is because he has that woman now.
But when
you were younger, you didn't care about those things.
That's what I'm saying. You go through a stage in life.
So let me ask you this question. Out of the course, you said you're an older man now. Now that you're older, in your past, you're saying that you said the woman that you're with currently, she's leveled you up, so you don't feel the need to be with multiple women now. Let me ask you a question. Previously, in your past, when you were younger, none of the women that you ever messed with were good women. Were they like promiscuous women as well?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you went there. Yeah, they were good. Yeah, they were some good women, but like I said, I hurt them. I emotionally did some things that I shouldn't have done as far as being promiscuous, cheating, seeing other women. That's what I mean by when I hurt them, because these women didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve for me being promiscuous. They didn't deserve for me to be cheating. You know, I'm just coming clean with it, you know, because most guys don't know how to come clean.
Go ahead, Hardy.
So this at the time, you don't have to answer this, but I mean, at that time when you were seeing these women, did you tell them, "Hey, I'm not looking for a relationship," or did you give them these pipe dreams that, "Hey, I want you to be my girl," or did you kind of let them know that, "Hey, it's an open relationship, you can date whoever you want to"? How did you?
No, no, yeah, no. I was in some relationships, but I didn't take them as serious as I'm taking them now.
Okay.
And yes, I gave them. There was somewhat pipe dreams, and that's how men move. We want to make sure that we keep our women in place, and sometimes you have to lie in order to do that.
And so, that's horrible.
If you,
but that was
I mean, no, it's a horrible practice.
But how many men?
So no, honestly,
how many men are going to come clean and admit that?
No, I appreciate your you being.
We do.
I'm not judging you, so I appreciate you being honest. But what I'm saying to you is that it is completely. This is why we're where we're at when it comes to in our culture when it comes to Black love. This is why we're where we're at because people are selfish. We want what we want when we want it, right? And we're not thinking about the good women that now
or the good men
but I'm talking to him.
Or the good men, right?
Yeah. So we're not thinking about the hurt that you caused and now they have to recover from, and that it will be very hard for them to trust. So now you have when we see women and you're saying all these women now are bitter, they're angry, they're mad, but they were in a relationship, they've been lied to, they've been mistreated, they've been told that we're faithful, it's just me and you, and finding out something completely different has transpired. And what's happening is you're taking good women and you're hurting them to the point where you're making it bad for a good man who really wants to have a settle down and be in one relationship with one person. And it's just not fair.
But that's why I asked him when he was dating these multiple women, what was he telling them?
He said he was lying. And that's okay.
but I'm
just saying the truth.
I was saying what I had to say to get what I wanted to get.
I understand
that. So I mean, there's no different. Women do that. Women do the same thing.
Right, no different than women. Women do the same thing.
They just use that kitty cat as a vice.
Thank you. Can you say what is your name?
No, you don't.
Age and location.
Okay.
You can give a first name.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, my name is Asante.
Okay.
Location, I'm in Cleveland.
Okay.
And I'm 60.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate your call.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You
too.
As
well.
Thanks. That's a lot to unpack, right?
I know, right?
And this is my thing.
Can we get some women to call in?
Yeah, we need we had some women to call in, but I'm grateful for the men to call in.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to say that, and if you do want to call in, you can. The number is still up. The sad thing about this whole situation to me is we're not thinking about the damage that we do to good people. And it's so matter of fact. Oh, I just wanted what I wanted. I lied. I did what I wanted to do. It doesn't matter that I did it.
Women do it too.
No,
women do it. Yes, they
listen,
do.
Women are not doing. I'm not saying that it's not some women that lie and manipulate, right? I'm not saying that. But the amount of men that hurt good women, because I don't think that the amount of men that hurt and damage good women, he said he went through multiple women. And I'm not judging you, sir. I'm not. I'm just saying in general, when you have this type of situation, you are doing so much damage to women. And then these women are not sleeping by themselves, and then they become whores because they didn't have multiple relationships where they were just trying to find a good guy. But if the majority of men have the mentality that I just want to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
So women can't see that in a man? That's just all he wants? I mean, really though. I mean,
if he's lying, how could you? I mean, think about it. If he's completely lying to you, making you feel like you're in this great relationship, you're number one. He said he flat out lied. I'm not saying that we don't, but I don't think it's to the magnitude. And I'm not beating anybody up. I'm just saying we as people, men and women, both have to be accountable for the damage we do to other people. That karma comes back at you in different ways. We have to. And that goes for men and women. We can't keep damaging one another and then wonder why we don't see Black love in our community, not understanding why.
There's so many reasons for Black love. That's not in
not understanding why our children are the way that they are. And it is a complex situation, right. But this plays a part in it as well, because when you're wounding women who give birth to the next generation, and she's hurt, wounded, and emotionally damaged, and she's raising the children, this is the effect. This is the effect. And we have to be accountable. Men have to be accountable, and women have to be accountable as well. I'm just saying.
I understand, but I mean, still, I just unless a man rapes another woman,
it's okay.
I'm not saying it's okay, but it's what they call it. It's consensual. It's consensual. We both agree on this is what we're going to do.
It's not it is consensual, but it is manipulation if you're lying to a person to get them to sleep with you. No, seriously. If a man is telling a woman, I want to be in a relationship with you, you the only girl, I'm about to be with just you, right? And you're sleeping with her and you're lying to her, you are responsible for she did not sleep. You might as well have raped her. Because you did not. Let me finish my thought about it. You might as well have had raped her because you manipulated her and you tricked her to get her to sleep with you. If you had told her the truth, she probably wouldn't have. And there's plenty of women that'll do it without being lied to.
Facts. Those are facts.
There's women that be like, listen, I don't want no relationship. I just want to smash. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And women be like, cool, I understand what it is. My feelings won't get involved. I won't think that this is more than it is.
But what happens with that, one of the persons, whether it be the male or female, and they get caught up. They thought they could handle it. So now, what we did, I really enjoyed it. Can we do it again? Then after that, they assume we're in a relationship. After 2 and 3 times, they assume, whether it be the male or female, that we're in a relationship. So that's why you had to define and say, you know what?
Absolutely.
This is what we're doing. At some point, you got to ask, what are we doing? Are we just sleep partners? Are we in a relationship?
That should be defined before you sleep with anybody. Women, if you are out there, you should define before you sleep with a man. You should define what it is that y'all are actually doing in that relationship. You should not. And then, but if he lying, it don't matter either way.
But there's times you get caught up in a moment. I mean, I don't care what age you are.
We can't afford as women to get caught up.
I don't care what age you are. You can still get caught up in a moment with male or female and say, how did we even get to this part? You may went out, y'all may have some drinks together and true feelings, and I'm just saying anything's possible. I hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, y'all in bed together.
Hey, in my opinion, personally, you have to have these conversations in advance.
Before sex or after
sex? Absolutely before you have sex with a person. Because after you have sex with them, your judgment is clouded. After you have sex,
not everyone is clouded after having sex.
Not everyone. But but guess what? If you like having sex with this person,
they like to have sex too.
And I'm sure they do.
Right.
we love sex. It's not a big deal.
No,
But
it is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Don't
But
say
I'm just
that.
saying people love sex. Loving sex is not a big deal. That's not the problem.
Why isn't it?
Loving sex and being in a relationship with loving sex is not the problem. Giving yourself sexually to somebody who is not available to you is the problem.
Well, they need to. Well, you know what? If that's the case, they need to sit down. They need not to be dating.
I agree.
That's, I mean,
my experience as far as what you got to clarify what you want to as experience. I'm not, and I just want to say, like, I'm not judging any person. I do feel like people have the right to do whatever it is that they want to do. I do have a problem with innocent people being hurt and deception because I think that deception in our community is a huge problem. We can never come together as a people if we have the mentality to deceive one another.
That's a subject for another show. What you're talking
about. It is, but we are. It's all together. That's the topic for another show.
I know, right?
Interesting.
I know, right?
I think that as a woman, you don't in life as a woman, you definitely don't get out of knowing somebody or experiencing somebody who has cheated.
But I mean,
and I'm not saying that men don't experience that too, because I feel like men. I think when it comes to relationships, a lot of times, I feel like we don't know how to date properly. We have sex with people when we should be just dating. I feel like,
but when you're grown and you make the sex is mutual between two people. What harm is it?
I feel like you should I think you should define what it is that you want for your life, and it may not be any harm if that's what you want. But if you're a woman,
two people agree on this is what we're doing.
If you agree on the thing, it's no problem.
I don't say if we agree on this is what we're doing, but things happen. You may not you know what? You may be with somebody you never imagined you going to bed with this person, but it happens.
I feel like if you're objective and you're, it's nothing wrong with whatever two people agree upon. So if you, as a woman, decide to just casually have sex with a man and y'all have an understanding that this is what you guys are doing together, I see no problem with that whatsoever. None. I don't see any problem with that whatsoever.
And that's what I'm trying to say to you.
But that's not what we're talking about.
Ooh.
Because what we're talking about, right now is people who lie to other people to get them to sleep with them. That's what we were talking about.
We didn't start talking about that.
We didn't start talking
about that till that guy called about.
Absolutely, but that's what we were discussing. It says, guess what? Then he's not accountable. I feel like she said. Alinda said, but a man can be honest with a woman, but she continues to pursue a man knowing that he's not interested.
Absolutely.
Listen, that is true. If you are pursuing him, if a woman knows what it is, that man has been honest and open, and she still decides to be with him, then that is her responsibility. She has to take responsibility for her actions,
right.
Or that's man or female. That it doesn't even matter by gender. You are responsible for your own actions and yourself as a person when it comes to relationships.
And then what happens?
In my
happens.
opinion.
Right.
In my opinion.
Just be honest. Just be honest.
Yeah, but I do feel like it comes from a place of honesty. I think, and I know someone said this last Thursday. I feel like a lot of times what we should do is we should be open and honest. Let that person make a decision for themselves. A lot of times a woman or man will sleep with you even if they know what your agenda is or what your, objective or what it is you want. You be honest, you find your tribe. That's my thing. Find your tribe. If you're honest and you're open and you're communicating what it is that you want and they still down for it, so be it. Y'all are two consensual adults.
Right.
But in my opinion, lying to somebody and misleading them to get them to let down their guard to sleep with you is diabolical.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
It's diabolical.
I can see that. I don't.
That's all I'm saying.
Right. You always gotta make a point, man. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Diabolical.
Oh, whatever.
Diabolical.
No, just kidding. What'd you say, Miss Henry? What's Miss Henry saying?
There are times that a woman believes she can change a man's mind.
Yes.
And then she hollers she's hurt. I feel like I agree with you. I agree with you on that. You won't get an argument from me, but let's be honest too, Alinda. We know a lot of times men be lying.
Oh,
they just be lying. Women too, but men be lying. I mean, they do. I think women are more likely to tell the truth. I don't want no relationship.
To me,
I'm talking about if a man and a woman meets each other, she's gonna say, well, she might say, I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want to have sex. Or she may say that that's what she wants and really wants something different. And that's where the problem comes in on the woman's side, is that a lot of times they'll say like, oh, I'm cool. I just, we can just get down. It is what it is. If we work, we work. If we don't, we don't. But in reality, she knows that she really wants a relationship.
Because she's probably seeing other guys too. Knowing her, that person's probably seeing another guy.
Maybe not. But it's like, this is my thing. And my takeaway from this whole conversation is people need to define what it is that they want in the beginning.
But sometimes we don't know. You don't know sometimes in the beginning.
No, women don't lie worse. We lie better.
Thank you. They do.
That's what I would say.
Right. They do.
We lie better.
I know.
But we don't lie worse. Because a lot of times.
You don't say nothing on that, huh?
No,
I was going to say.
I was going to say a lot of times.
I'm going to type in crickets.
Women want you to. They want to tell you the truth. They want you to know, like, this is what it is.
I don't think so.
I think so in some cases.
No, I don't think so.
Diabolical. Then if that's the case, millions are diabolical. I agree. Donnell said millions are diabolical. Absolutely. And that's why we're in the state that we're in right now, is because people are not
serious right now.
Absolutely. People are not able to be honest. It doesn't matter whether it's man or women. Don't feel triggered and attacked. I'm just saying.
Really?
No.
Is that how you took that?
I feel like you taking this personal. No, I'm serious.
Oh.
Just saying.
What you trying to say? Oh my goodness. What? Go ahead. Go ahead. Is what you're gonna say, man.
No, I'm just saying I do agree.
Crazy.
Millions are diabolical. But what I will say is that's why it's so important in our community to find your tribe. And stop draping off innocent people into situations that they shouldn't be in. It's no bias. It's just the honest truth. Like, I just feel like people shouldn't lie to one another. Men or women, we should be honest.
We started to show off with whores doing what they do. Now you back. Now
Well, you know what? It's not my fault. Blame it on Donnell. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
He said, I admitted what I did, but that doesn't mean I was the guilty party all the time. I agree. No judgment here. This is a safe place for people to talk and share their opinions freely. This is really a place where you can be honest and open.
Transparent has bit me up.
That's the key right there. People are afraid of the truth and afraid to face their own demons.
Demons?
Yeah. And I think that she was just talking in general about people not being able to be open and honest about what it is they want. And if that, I think that's what you were saying, Alinda.
I think Alinda has a book out, right? I think Alinda has a book out.
Alinda, you have a book out?
Alinda? Do you have a book
Put
out?
the name of your book in the chat.
Yeah, put your name in your book.
So I just think that a lot of times people, you are right. People are afraid to tell their truth. They're afraid to face their own demons.
But you
yeah,
know,
we got to do self work.
What about our past though? We should actually leave the past where it is. How you feel about that? I mean, what I did in my 20s and my 30s. Wow, do I need to talk about that now? Now I'm close to 60. Really?
I think
it goes back to.
I don't think that people.
Can I say something?
You asked a question. I was going to answer it, but I'll digress.
I'm just saying. Let me.
You asked the question.
Okay. But all I'm saying is, what I keep saying this, and I have to reiterate, my past when I was 30, I don't think like that anymore. You know, I don't think like that. So now that I'm older, my mind and my direction, my life is changing. You know, what I want to do is totally different. That's all I wanted to say. Jeez.
You asked a question. I
know, but I answered, but I
thought you wanted an answer.
You always interrupting me, man.
I thought you wanted an answer to your question. I don't understand why it is so hard to tell the truth. I don't either. I think that it has a lot to do with what Alinda said. People are not, they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of the consequences of being honest. I think that when you get to a point where you are able to tell the truth, whatever it may be for you, that it is a very freeing thing. I think that you will find like-minded people when you're honest about what it is that you want and that you truly desire. Um, and I think that that's important to give that to people. And I just think that as a whole, as a community of people, we have just this world in general, we just have a very hard time being our most authentic selves and being truthful to who we are as individuals because we fear the consequences of what it may bring. But I think that part of being responsible and being authentic is understanding that everybody is not meant for you and that you should just be open and honest about what it is that you truly want so that you can with other people. I'm saying to other people, like women and men, we should be honest and open about what we really want so that we're not misleading or mistreating people.
But sometimes you can meet somebody, you can be like, I ain't really ready for a relationship. And that person may just come into your life and say, you know what? This person actually changed my mind about being in a relationship.
I agree.
Well,
I agree with what Alinda said.
Oh, what about what?
No. I feel like people can. I don't agree with the idea that people have the right to change their minds, right?
Absolutely.
People definitely have the right to change their minds. I don't suggest people gamble.
What do you mean by that? I mean,
I don't suggest people gamble on somebody changing their mind. I think that you should. I am a person that feels like we, as a whole, as a community of people, don't understand dating. So what
are you serious right now?
I don't think that we properly date.
I disagree, but.
And when I say properly date, I mean when you're dating, you should be dating multiple people that does not mean you're having sex. That means that you're talking and you're getting to know that person, hanging out, seeing how they think, if your morals, your vision aligns with one another, what you want in life, if your dreams, goals, aspirations align, right? And I think that a lot of times that's what we don't do. Women and men, they meet a person, they like them or find them attractive, they have sex with them, and then they let sex define how the relationship goes. And they never define anything. That's how it happens a
But
lot.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that has had sex with somebody on the first night and they're still together to this day. I think that's possible.
No, I was laughing at the comment. Go ahead. What'd you say?
You're not even listening.
I was reading the comment.
You sitting right next to me and paying me no attention. I believe that people can have sex on the same night and still be together to this day. I'm sure
absolutely
people. I think there's actually people that do exist had sex the same night and still a couple to this day.
Absolutely.
So
that is not a matter of what I'm talking about.
But
whatever it is, their vision, their aspirations, their goals aligned. Social media has given people more options to take more chances with relationships and other things.
What's that one say?
And they say if people are mature enough to juggle multiple things. I think multiple people. I don't think it's a juggling. If you're just dating, then you have friends and you have people you're cool with and you're just casually dating,
That's
not
juggling.
sex. Because I need to say that because a lot of people think that when they think date, they think sex. And I'm not talking about sex. Dating is strictly hanging out, talking on the phone, maybe going to dinner, going to get ice cream, maybe meeting at a coffee shop, meeting at a show. It's getting to know this person in different settings over a period of time, discussing how you view life, how you see things, your goals, dreams, aspirations, visions for your future, to see if you guys align. That's what I'm talking about.
I think so. Who kind of controls a conversation when it comes to down stuff like that? You think women or men? Because sometimes men can veer the conversation. It kind of veers. Sometimes men can veer the conversation in one direction, but it's up to the woman to get it back on track in some scenarios.
I feel like, and this is my opinion. If y'all don't agree with me, let me know. I'm just curious to see how other people feel. They are having sex before they get to know each other, but I'm just curious on you, how you still feel. I think, in my opinion, women define the speed of the relationship. Men pursue, women decide whether or not we're okay with it or we accept your pursuit. So men pursue, women decide whether or not they're going to accept your, pursuing them and your pursuit. And then women control the tempo of the relationship. So, women, if you decide not to have sex with him, only two things going to happen. Either he's going to leave you alone or he's going to wait it out.
Facts.
But either, because a lot of men will wait it out
because they're seeing other women, so they can
they can wait it out because they're seeing other women. But somewhere along the line, you will know, because he won't have time for you. Like, he won't make you an advantage. You'll just be getting good morning messages.
What?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay, but people make time for what they want to do.
They do.
At the end of the day, people make time for what they want to do. So so that's how I feel.
It probably doesn't. But I want to leave on this note because this has been a great show. I want to leave on this note. I think that one of the things that we have to stop doing in our community is judging one another. We have to stop judging each other, and we have to start having open, honest dialogue and conversations with one another so that we can better understand one another. I think a lot of times, and we have to start doing our self work, evolving as a people so that and setting a standard for ourselves and for others. And I think that that's very important. And I think that you should find your tribe. Like if you want to just if you're honest about what it is that you desire and you want, then you'll find people and you'll attract people that are like you, and that's okay too. But you have to do that. That starts with being honest and actually knowing yourself. I think a lot of the problems come into play is because we don't actually spend time alone enough with ourselves, self-reflecting enough to even really know who we are as a person. And so I just think that when you do that, you attract what you want, and you end up right where you're supposed to be. And we need to stop just judging one another. Whether you are a woman who sees sex as transactional and you want to be paid, and you holding out for the highest bidder, if you a woman who wants the fairy tale dream and you want the man that's gonna the on the knight in shining armor who's gonna sweep you off your feet and love you and always be romantic and give you this fairy tale life, whether you're the woman who's evolved and say, I want somebody that's going to who has emotional intelligence and is going to support me emotionally, and we're going to build and grow together because we're coming together on equal playing fields. And I've done my own self-worth work, so I'm not going to, and know my own self-worth, so I'm not going to just settle for just whatever. I think wherever you fall at on that spectrum, I think that, like Denise said, self love is the most important love. And once you love yourself, then everything else in life aligns. Absolutely. You have to be healthy to have a healthy relationship. You should not be entering into a relationship of any kind with somebody if you have not dealt with your triggers and your emotional trauma. Triggers don't mean that you still won't have them. It just means that you'll still be triggered. The journey of healing is not a place, it's a lifestyle. It's not a place that you know end up. It's not a place that you, how can I say it? It's a constant journey. It's not a destination.
Correct. Good answer. Very good.
It's a constant journey, not a destination. So those are the things that are important. And yep, setting boundaries, self-love, and being true to you and not compromising in any way.
That's so easy to say though. We can all you said, you saying all this stuff now, but until we're in that situation, some of that stuff is out the water.
When you love somebody, but it has to be mutual. It has to be.
But you're not even really thinking about loving somebody until you really get to know that person. You can't just say I'm in love with this person after 3 or 4 months.
Curious in the chat, do you feel like you can not sleep with a person, just spend time with the person and getting to know them and love them before you've actually had sex with them? Just if you agree, say yes. If you feel like you can love a person without having sex, put yes in the chat.
Crickets.
Somebody said absolutely. Somebody said I definitely could. Yes. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yes.
They're lying.
Yes.
They're lying.
Yes.
They're lying.
They're not.
They are lying.
They're not. They're being honest.
Whatever.
Absolutely, yes.
Like that song. What love got to do with it?
You can, and let me just say that that's to me the best love because people be so caught up in having sex, right?
It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. But the anticipation of love making is what people really be caught up in.
Are you serious right now?
Oh, I'm so serious. It's the anticipation that have people like, ooh, it's the not knowing and wondering. That's the buildup. Once you actually sleep with them,
now. We damn the past.
After you sleep with them, you know what it is.
Man,
and then after that, it's
anticipation has been going for a long time now. Stop it.
Nah.
Stop it.
Anticipation of the love making, like Tupac said, anticipation of the love making got you busting up. I mean, busting up. That's what he said. But peep this out though.
My bad.
Have you ever met a person, liked them? Have you ever met a person like that person, right? And realized, like, oh shoot, had sex, thought they were amazing, had sex with them, and didn't even like them anymore. That is a fine example of it was the anticipation of it and not the actual act. But when you really actually are feeling somebody on every level and y'all connect sexually, it's different. Intimacy, yes. Donnell said, in my early years, I couldn't, but from experience, I can now. Once a week is good enough for me now. Donnell, I want to ask you a question, Donnell. I want to ask you a question.
Don't play with me.
I want to ask a question about that, Donnell, but you got to give me permission. Kissing and touching with no hands.
Man, you better stop playing, Darnell.
It's the intimacy for me. Sex don't always bring that.
Stop it.
Absolutely. Man. Intimacy is everything. If you don't have intimacy in a relationship, it's after you might not even want to see the person no more. It's try kissing without using hands at all.
Man, stop it. Who's saying that? Man, get off my phone.
He was black. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it happens. Okay. So you said in your early years, you needed sex all the time. You were saying, but from experience, I can now once a week is good enough for me. Question, you gave me permission. You gave me permission. Yeah. Is it because as you get older, as you have gotten older, your sex drive has decreased?
Are you serious?
And I won't post. I'm just curious. I won't post your question, but I mean, it's a valid question because, a lot of times I find that men will say like, yeah, like I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to just be with one woman, or I'm ready to, because they've had sex a lot. And now it's like, as they older, their values change and they don't need it as much. Their sex drive is not as high as when you're younger. It's all is going to get you off. It's the person who you love that they can't let you whip. They say, so it's the person you love. I get it. I mean, I just was asking. A lot of times values change as we get older.
Absolutely,
what's important changes. Like I do agree with you on that. I feel like, it don't matter as much as for some people.
It helps though. Lord, no, it helps.
For some people.
I think a lot of people. What's that say? Who said that? Sex is not, man, get off that.
It's not everything. Sex is not everything. Yeah. You can have great sex with a person. I mean, like amazing sex with a person and don't even like them.
What you talking about, Willie?
You can
make that make sense.
Man,
that make sense.
Listen, it is the truth. I'm disabling this button right here. I'm going to disable.
I'm glad you got that button back. I like that little button.
I think that you can have sex with a person, and just because they are skilled and like they just a good sex partner, right? But you don't even really like them outside of the bedroom. Like you don't even want to talk to them. You don't want to see them. I know men have said that often. Like she cool. Like, after I had sex with her, I'll be wanting her to leave. I don't even want her here no more. I be done. I mean, it's true. It's true.
But
intimacy and touching is. Yeah, that is. I mean, it happens all the time.
Hit it and quit it, huh? Hit it
and quit it.
Let's see. Intimacy and touching is
absolutely. Absolutely. It is. It is. Yep. Very true. Very, very true. Good conversation.
Some people BSing on this show today.
I don't think nobody was I think people was keeping it real, and I appreciate y'all realness.
And the BS, and I appreciate the BS today.
Why do you feel like it was BS? Yeah. Why? Were you triggered?
Huh?
Were you triggered today?
What do you mean?
Because this was just a conversation.
Yeah, but
if y'all think Hardy is toxic and triggered today, give me a thumbs up in the chat.
Man,
okay? Or say yes in the chat. Let me type a Y for me if y'all think he triggered.
I'm never triggered. I just think a lot of people BS. You know, you can say, you can type all this stuff in and all this.
Why do you feel like that?
I mean, really, because it's.
Why do you feel like that? Triggered. Triggered. Triggered.
It's always one. It's always one person.
Triggered.
It's always one in the group. Not this group, it's two. But I mean, but people like you had said before, people do have sex with people and they're ready for them to go. But then with that understanding, this is what it is. What it is. It is what it is. What?
They told me when I said trigger, hit the button.
I'm not triggered. I am not
triggered. I don't know. I just know that hey, it's okay. Healing is a journey, not a destination. This is a safe space. No, I'm just kidding. But I just want y'all to know, thank y'all for coming on and hanging out with us. We always have such a good time, right?
All right.
We always have a good time. It's always really fun.
I missed the lady with the popcorn last week. Popcorn last.
Oh yeah! Shout out to lovely Debbie. We missed you in the building tonight. We hope you feel better soon. We love our favorites. Lovely Debbie
is
the
people that called
favorite
in
of the show, and thank you for everybody that called in. We appreciate you. It was so much fun. It was a good time. It was a good time. So we thank you. We appreciate you for vibing out with us. Oh, we got some announcements. Don't forget. Where is it at? Where is it at?
I don't know.
Hold on. So, Hardy, talk about what you got going on.
Oh, May 18th, we're going to have a sip and paint.
Yes.
Address is 1648 Broadway.
Yep. So if you see it on the corner up there, we have Hardy Sip and Paint coming up.
We only have a few more tickets left. I'm having like 40 people. That's about
it's going to be really cool. Yeah. We're excited about it.
Your mom? You said you bring your mom?
I'm bringing my mom. So and really nice. Definitely bringing my mom. It's going to be an amazing event. Excited about it.
I am.
Fun times. I'm coming straight out to work. I'm working that weekend in the community. I got some things going on in the community. I'm working, and then I'll be right there.
Cool beans.
All right. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you for tuning in with us again. And you guys take care.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Have a good evening. Look, good times. Ain't we lucky we got 'em?
Oh my. You are a mess.